Okay, good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and start, and they can just come on board. Good afternoon. My name is Paul Gore, Director of Community Development for the Asian Chamber of Commerce, Houston. Thank you so much for joining our July webinar focusing on wellness and health with a very special session on living an active lifestyle. We have a wonderful speaker today in creating a wellness within you and your employees about having a healthy lifestyle and well-being, and so that we can make maximum productivity in your whole lifestyle. The Asian Chamber has been serving the business community for over 30 years, and our mission is basically foster economic and business growth and opportunities for you, it's like programs like this. And so we're happy to have you today, and we hope that you find this useful in preparing your workforce and growing this whole resource so that you can maximize productivity for your workforce and company. But before we continue today's, I want to highlight some of our upcoming events that we're happening. As you know, the Asian Restaurant Month has happened in June. We're proud to really celebrate over 100 restaurants that were listed and show support by asking patrons around Houston to come and dine and really support Asian-owned businesses here, especially the whole restaurant scene. There's a lot of very wonderful cuisines that we ask you to try out. There's rich treasure of different spices and different flavors. So we're happy that we were able to push that out. And we will continue really monitoring this and allowing our constituents and the community to continue by leaving this website up so that you can find this as a directory, look at the different things and options that's around your area or places that you'll be driving to your destination. So we're happy to do that. We had a lot of press coverage and even more so a wonderful opening receptions and support from our following sponsors in there. So please check out the website, restaurantmonth.com, for the listings and the different types of cuisine around your area. The next thing I want to talk about is our upcoming business conference and Expo. We had a wonderful virtual component of it last month, and we are looking at the second part of the business conference happening September 10th. And this is a wonderful aspect that we're going to be focusing on trade between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's a fun-filled opportunity to listen to hopefully 6 to 8 consul general's office talking about opportunities of trade for these different invited countries that will participate, as well as just highlighting some of the top 10 fastest growing organizations here in Houston with the Rising 10 Awards. We've already basically have it, and we'll be announcing those winners shortly with the ceremony during our luncheon and this whole wonderful opportunity for this business expo where we expect to have 30 to 40 different vendors really showcase their products and services. And even more so, we invite you as a small business owner to participate and get small, actually an exhibitor's booth so that you can be able to really just showcase your particular offerings to those who are participating. And it's a one way where our community will be able to converge to a place live in person. And even more so, as members, you will be able to get free access to the trade forum and Expo as part of your membership. So we hope that you will be able to mark your calendars for September 10th and participate on that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and go back and just give you some housekeeping items as we continue our presentation. I just want to let you know we'll be muting all, and we ask that you keep your mics muted until the Q&A sessions. And if you have questions, please put them in the chat box. And we ask that you please pay close attention to the presentation, as this is a wonderful resource for you to help understand the value of health and living a really healthy lifestyle, but the tools and suggestions and even more so best practices that our wonderful speaker will have. If you're representing press, we please disconnect now, because this is a webinar meant for small business members and our whole community and the members of the chamber. Please, if you have any questions, contact us and we'll forward it on to our presenter in that perspective. Well, today I want to also introduce to you our facilitator, who will be facilitating and moderating, as well as she will be able to introduce our wonderful speaker. So this is Victoria Ralls. She's a senior community relations specialist for and strategic communications for the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. She really remains residing over this whole region, Southwest and Sugar Land. communities as the outreach liaison, education liaison. Also, she has definitely had this whole aspect of a master's degrees in education with the University of Houston, Texas. Sorry, forgive me for that. The University of Texas Arlington. So without further ado, I'm going to have her come up on board and she will introduce Patricia. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paul, and thank you everybody for having us today. Patricia's going to be talking about living an active lifestyle, and Paul kind of nailed it on the head with everything he said about the importance of knowing this information. So Patricia is a senior community health education specialist within our strategic communications department at the University of Texas, MD Anderson. I love to brag about this, has 2 master's degrees. The first is from Southern Illinois with a master's in education, and she also has a master's degree in public health from University of Texas School of Public Health. So very knowledgeable, and she's gonna get us started on the presentation today. So again, as Paul said, any questions, put them in the chat. And afterwards, if you think of anything else, if we have time, there's always the option to unmute and ask the question as well. So thank you. Go ahead, Patricia.
Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Paul, for having us. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. And you already have said the introductions. Please remain in mute. And if you have questions, please type them in the chat. At the end, Victoria is gonna read those questions for me, and I'm gonna try to answer them all. Okay, now that I wanna. Okay, just a reminder, MD Anderson recommends that still following this, to prevent the spread, following these steps. Please, I hope you all consider vaccination if you're not already vaccinated. Wear a mask in public especially if you're not vaccinated. Continue practicing social distance, wash your hands often, and get tested to protect others. So today I'm going to be discussing with you the benefits of an active lifestyle, how much exercise do you need, and tips to stay active at every age. Okay, so maintaining a healthy weight isn't just a matter of appearance. About 1 out of every 3 cancer deaths in the United States is due to obesity and overweight, lack of physical activity, and poor nutrition. So remember to think of our bodies as a balance. To maintain a healthy weight, our bodies need to maintain this balance of what we eat. That means the energy in and the calories that we burn. That's the through exercise, that's the energy out. Of course, we're gonna be discussing that session, this part of the session. And remember that when we eat less calories and we burn more is when we start losing weight if we need to. So do you know that only 1 in 4 US adults and 1 in 5 high school students meet the recommended physical activity guidelines? Okay, and the benefits are plenty when we maintain an active lifestyle. It would lower your risk for some cancers and chronic disease. Regular physical activity is important for good health, and it's especially important if you're trying to lose weight or to maintain a healthy weight. Most importantly, physical activity reduces risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. Being active will help you to prevent weight gain, combined with maintenance or deduction of calorie intake. Also, you're gonna notice it's gonna improve your mental health, your mood, improves older adults' ability to do daily activities. It's gonna prevent falls and increases your chances of living longer. Now remember, any type of activity is good for you because our goal is to prevent inactivity. All adults should be active. Some level of physical activity is better than none. And adults that participate in any level of activity gain health benefits. So, but there are different levels of activity or intensity. We have light, moderate, and vigorous. Generally, when it takes more energy to do an activity and when more time has passed, you will receive more benefit. Now, light activity includes, housework, gardening, and other activities with slower movements, pauses, or not lasting for at least 10 minutes. But they do not provide the same benefits to your health as moderate or vigorous activity. So you need to start working your way up. Now, when adults do the equivalent of at least 150 minutes of moderate to intensity, like some type of aerobic activity per week, the benefits are substantial. If you're not sure about becoming active or boosting your level of physical activity because you're afraid of getting hurt, the good news is that moderate intensity activity is generally safe for most people. So moderate activity, you should be able to maintain a conversation while you're walking or doing the activity. Remember, when you increase the intensity or the amount of time that you are physically active, it would improve your health benefits and control your weight. So the more energy you use, you would burn more calories and you would benefit more. So what some examples of moderate physical activity would be walking briskly, bicycling, general yard work, raking the leaves, dancing, golf, water aerobics. I mean, there are several moderate activities. Now, the key guidelines for adults focus on that, like I said, and to better your benefits on moderate and intense activity, of vigorous activity. So to meet the key guidelines, adults can do either one of them, moderate intensity or vigorous, or combination of both. Remember, it would take less time to get the same benefits from vigorous intensity activity than from moderate intensity activity. The general rule of thumb is that 2 minutes of moderate intensity activity counts the same as 1 minute of vigorous intensity. So for example, 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity is roughly the same as 15 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. But the benefits, both of them the benefits will be great. Vigorous activities better condition your heart, your lungs, and tend to burn more calories. But remember, moderate levels of activity can also be excellent option for exercise. Now, what would be the examples of vigorous activity? Now, running. You can do walking, but faster, a lot, like 4.5 miles per hour. You can do bicycling, but for longer period of time, maybe 10 miles per hour. Heavy yard work, swimming, aerobics, tennis, basketball. There's several of them. Now, like adults, kids need to be physically active to stay healthy. But only 50% of boys and less than 34% of girls ages between 12 to 15 years are adequately fit according to the CDC. And unfit kids are at risk for cardiovascular and chronic diseases, as well as psychological disorders. So evidence indicates that both regular to moderate to vigorous physical activity improve the cognitive functions of memory, processing, attention, all these benefits for children and teenagers. Exercise training in youth with exercise training in youth with overweight or obesity can improve the body composition by reducing overall levels of body fat as well as abdominal fat. So regular physical activity also makes it less likely that these risk factors will develop and more likely that children remain healthy when they become adults. So, but it's important to encourage young people to participate in physical activity, but it's very not would not work if us parents would just tell them go out and play, go and be part of a sport. We need to be a role model. Use exercise, as a motivation. Involve the whole family. Focus on fun. Make activity. The uh, social, include all the kids and the going out. They can do the roller skating, using the bikes, or parents can be walking, but try to involve the whole family in this activity and make it fun. Now, adults who are physically active are healthier, we're gonna feel better, and are less likely to develop many chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and several types of cancer than are adults who are inactive. So regular moderate to vigorous physical activity also reduces feeling of anxiety and depression and improves the sleep and quality of life. Adults who are more physically active are better able to perform everyday tasks without, undue fatigue. We recommend to aim to get at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise, that is above your usual activity, per week. You can break this up to as little as 10 minutes at a time. Or if you prefer more intense exercise, our recommendation is to do at least 75 minutes of vigorous exercise per week. That should be a healthy goal. Also, the recommendation is to do muscle training exercise at least twice a week. Strength training helps you maintain a healthy weight because the larger and stronger our muscles are, the higher our metabolism would be. That means we would burn more calories when you are at rest and not active after doing a strength activity. We have two different links of exercises that it can be a good example for you to do and try it. One is 6 strength training exercises. It will show you, remember, you don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to do weights. You don't need to do, machines. You can use your own body. And Victoria can put the link in the chat so you can look at that link. Those are 6 strength training exercises using your own body. Also, there's another link that very easy exercise that you can do it at home while you're sitting. Is a chair exercise with Alba. When I do this program in person, I would do the exercises with you, but obviously now I'm gonna trust you that you're gonna go and try it, follow the link and try it. And I hope you like it. Okay, give me a thumbs up. When you go at the bottom of your screen, you're gonna see reaction buttons. If you think that that as you get older, less physical activity is required. If you think this is true, give me a thumbs up. And happy to see that nobody did it because this is false. Maintaining your body is important throughout your life. Regular physical activity increases the ability for older adults to remain active and independent for a longer period of time. Older adults can adapt the level of ability their personal needs. The amount of physical activity should not decrease. Actually, they should maintain that activity. Okay, because remember, our metabolism gets as we get older, it start getting slower, slows down, right? And it's harder to maintain a healthy weight. So physical activity is essential for healthy aging. Regular physical activity is one of the most important things older adults can do for their health. It can prevent many of the health problems that seems to come with age. It also helps their muscles grow stronger so they can keep doing their day-to-day activities without becoming dependent on others. So the same recommendations are for all adults, also older adults apply. Uh, the ones that we said, meaning 150 minutes of physical activity a week, moderate physical activity, or if they prefer, 75 minutes a week of intense activity. This is going to help them to better their balance. It's going to prevent falls. But make sure that they ask their doctor. So make sure that we don't want them to get injured or anything. So give me a thumbs up if you think this is true. Exercise takes too much time. No, yes, this is false. There are ways that you can reach your goal trying to find periods of 10 minutes a day, like 3 periods, 10 minutes each day. You can do it 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 10 minutes in the evening. So you can do that if you prefer that, and it's perfectly fine. You can combine physical activity with something that is already part of your daily routine. I know sometimes even working from home, sometimes it's challenging, but try to find the best time that you have more energy. For some people might be in the evening. For me, I know I prefer the mornings because in the evening I feel like I'm already too tired to do that. But some people will love being super active in the evenings, whatever time, but you can do as little by little. So this is an example how important it is to set a goal that works for you. And you gradually work up to being active at a moderate intensity for at least 150 minutes per week. So one way to do it is aim for 30 minutes at 5 days a week. And you can do it. You can start building up. You can start with 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 25 minutes until you reach your goal. Here's an example of an exercise plan. It's complete with different type of activities. So I encourage you to plan out your activities. Many people, like I know, I like activities that involve group activities, fun activities. I don't feel motivated when I do it by myself. Like even if it's only walking or doing any type of activity, I prefer group activities. But think of the activities that you enjoy, and sometimes the variety of activities, it makes it more interesting and challenging for your muscles. So you can, do dancing, and look how many calories you would burn if you do 30 minutes of dancing. Some consider a moderate activity level. Or you can go out and do walking. You can burn up to 140 calories, or you prefer do your bikes, riding your bike someday. So if you prefer, do a variety of things if you get bored. And also remember the importance of include the family in all these activities to make it more fun for everybody. Now, many people think that they can eat whatever they want because they're going to burn it off. But it is hard to burn off calories, more harder than you may think. Okay, so remember that not overeating is just as important as exercising. I know you guys are gonna be going and eating out a lot in the restaurant month that is coming up with all the delicious food. I just be aware of the calories that you're gonna be eating. Moderate your portion size. I know sometimes it's difficult. Um, one tip that I would give you is that when you go out and eat, sometimes the portion size are huge. Before you even start, go ahead and ask for a to-go box. Split that portion, big portion, into two and take home half of it. That way, it's not going to be tempted to empty your plate, because remember, we don't have to finish all when it's too much of food. So keep those things in mind. Maybe you can, as when you come back after eating a great meal, you can go out and walk and trying to burn those calories. Here's an example of how many calories you would burn in 30 minutes of different activities. Look, walking, you can burn between 120 and 178. This is depending on what is your weight. Um, as the heavier you are, the more calories you're gonna burn. So running, bicycling, if you do weight, look at bike cycling, how much calories you can burn, a lot more. So just keep that in mind. Now your weight is up. Remember, we were talking about that balancing act. It's what we eat, that the calories that we eat, as well as the calories that we're gonna burn. Keep always that in mind. Now, 3,500 calories equals to 1 pound. So if you eat 500 calories extra every day, you are you can gain as much as 1 pound a week. Yes, because it's 500 calories times 7 days is 3,500 calories. And let me tell you, it's very easy to eat 500 calories extra every day. So keep that in mind. Maintain your portion size. Try to eat healthier. Avoid all those junk food or fried food. Try to eat healthy, smaller portions, and being active. Because otherwise, it's very easy to gain 1 pound a week. And of course, you can also burn the calories by doing your physical activity. Okay. So by maintaining or being aware of the portion size and being active, burning those calories, you can either maintain your weight if you don't need to lose weight, or start losing weight very slowly. You can do it 1 or 2 pounds a week by watching your calories and being active. It sounds easy, right? I know it takes an effort, but trust me, it's even harder. At least I find out that working from home is harder to find that motivation. But once you start, it's start getting easier and easier. It's gonna make it part of your routine. Ask for support. Work out with friends. I guess I told you I prefer working in groups, either with family members or with friends. I love group activities. So with that way, um, you they count on you, right? That you cannot bail out. They're like, oh, I don't want to do it today. So you are committed to the group, and you probably are going to be less likely to not doing it. If you do work out with friends or groups of friends, remember to stay at least 6 feet apart and make sure that everyone wearing a mask. So find ways to fit it in your day. Schedule periods of physical activity into day and week when you feel energized. I guess I told you some people prefer in the evening or afternoon. I know it's when we want to do it outside. Sometimes we kind of depend on the weather in Houston when it's way too hot. So early in the morning sometimes is best, or in the evenings. Now reward yourself. Realize that physical activity is important and a huge step to living your healthy life. Going one step further in really beginning to change behavior is a major achievement. So reward this big achievement. Um, it, I mean, it could be anything like Maybe buying those shoes that you've been wanted since for a while. That's when you start seeing yourself healthier and feeling more active. That's the time maybe that buying those shoes that we always wanted. We always want shoes, right? Now, keep hydrated before, during, and after exercising. Very important also to warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. It increases the temperature and flexibility of your muscles and helps you be more efficient and safer during your workout. A warm up before moderate or vigorous intense activity allows a gradual increase in your heart rate and breathing when you start your activity. So one way to do it is just whatever activity you plan on doing it, start slower pace. So little by little for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you can start increasing the pace if you're gonna jog, walk. And very important too to cool down. That way it's gonna prevent your body from getting hurt. Cooling down after workouts is important as warming up. Cool down after physical activity allows a gradual decrease at the end of the episode. It's good to then to stretch when you're cooling down because your muscles, your limbs are still warm, so you can stretch those muscles and reduce cramping or stiffness. So take control. So when you finish work, even if you're at home or when you get home from work from the office, it's very easy to just go home and sit down in front of the TV and do not move for several hours. It's challenging. So instead of doing that, before you sit down, before you get home, go straight to the park, to the gym, to wherever to meet your group. Bring your walking shoes with you, because trust me, if you get home and you sit down in front of the TV, it's going to be more difficult to get up because we sometimes have long days and we're very busy and we feel tired. But once you do that, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to be more energetic. Then you're going to eat healthy and you're going to sleep better. That's for sure. Now, I feel 100% confident that in this confidence scale, you are in the very confident that you're gonna aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity each week. At least, of course, there's people that are very active that play tennis for an hour every day. I know that it's fantastic, but I'm talking about the minimum that we all should do, okay? So make a plan, okay? What type of exercise will you do? Maybe you're bored of doing the same thing every time. Try different activity. Join a Zumba class, a jazzercise class, or there's so many different type of activities that they're fun. Maybe it's time to try them. How long would you exercise? Do you want, I don't know, 3 times a week for an hour? Do you want 30 minutes every day? How are you going to plan to do your activities? How often would you do it? When are you going to start if you haven't started yet? I'm pretty sure that you are very active. Now, for you can schedule presentations like this one or another topics. Here you can see the topics that we have available. If you have other groups, church groups, and you can request them. Here's our website, and all these programs are for free. Now I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna see the link in the chat, but if you can't, you approach your phone on the camera mode. Remember, you don't need to take a picture, just approach them to the QR code. It's gonna take you to a survey that's gonna take you only a couple of minutes. Very easy to, as I'm explaining, I'm hoping that you are doing it already. You're gonna select the language please select code 20. You're gonna see the arrow down and select code 20 because it's what is this group is 20. Don't forget, please select my name, it's Patricia Priego. If you cannot use the QR code, you can follow the link that you can find in the chat room. And with that, that's all I have for today. I don't know if we have any questions. Comments. I like comments too.
Yes, in fact, we do have a question.
Okay.
She is asking, does 10 minutes of jumping rope every day sufficient? Would that be sufficient? 10 minutes of jump rope.
10 minutes every day, it really is not sufficient, but it's a very great start. We recommend at least 30 minutes of activity. So what you can do is 10 minutes in the morning, walking very fast, then 10 minutes of jumping the rope in the afternoon, and then you can do a variety of things, but at least 30 minutes a day to reach your goal of 150 minutes a week. Does that make sense? But recommendation of minimum of 30 minutes every day. But that's a great start. So many people don't have even 10 minutes of physical activity. So try to combine them. Uh, Jumping the rope is fantastic. Maybe you can do 10 minutes walking, or maybe you can do the strength exercise that follow the link, the MD Anderson strength exercise. That's only about 10 minutes. So you have 30 minutes of 3 different activities if you prefer that. It's however you prefer, but at least 30 minutes. Any other questions?
While the chat questions are coming through, I just want to let you know I unmuted everyone, or the privileges of unmuting. So if you would like to just ask a verbal question, please feel free to do that. We'll welcome that. Victoria, I think there's another question that came up from Rainier.
Yes, indeed. It says, I've heard you should stay active throughout the day versus doing it all at one time. Is that true?
It really is depending on the preference of the person. Some people just go ahead and do 1 hour of activity, a whole hour. But if it's too much for you, absolutely you can split it into 10 minutes sections, 3 sessions of 10 minutes, or 2 of 15 minutes. 15 minutes in the morning, 15. It's up to the person, but there's nothing wrong to do the whole hour or whole 30 minutes. You can build up, right? You can start 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20, so on and so forth. But it's nothing wrong to do it a whole hour if you want to, or 30 minutes. I'm trying to give you choices, and you can choose whatever you prefer.
I have a
Any
question.
other?
I have a question. Is it better to eat 3 times per day, or is it better to just eat small meals throughout the day?
That's the question that a lot of people ask, right? So I know there's lots of different plans of eating, and that it's some people, well, if you eat smaller portions, it's supposed to maintain your metabolism working, and you're going to burn more calories. But you have to be very careful if you're going to do that, because eating smaller portions of very healthy food doesn't mean that you're going to eat smaller portions of very high caloric foods. You see what? So it depends of your preference. Like I prefer what is the you prefer? You prefer good, healthy, heavy breakfast. I personally like that. And then I start going down in the calories throughout the day, because I don't like heavy dinners, for example. Otherwise, I don't like to feel full before going to bed. You see, so it depends on your lifestyle. It depends on the type of food that you're gonna eat. I would recommend to be careful and just stay within the number of calories that you're supposed to eat according to your age and gender. I know the recommendation it varies between 1,200 calories, 1,500 calories a day. So watch out. If you prefer smaller, watch out the calories that you eat in. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I
These are
know
great
it's
questions.
challenging. It's challenging now that you guys are gonna be eating a lot out. So just be careful.
So we still have time for more questions. So please feel free to ask questions. I do have a question myself. Do you recommend, and this is just, I know you said maybe preference, morning, afternoon, or evening to do your physical activities? And let me explain, because sometimes I realize that I find after doing a physical activity, I feel more awake and more energy. So is there any recommendations on that, if there's even any?
Well, it really doesn't matter the time, but that's a very good point that you made, Paul. We're gonna feel a lot more energized after doing physical activity. So if you do it in the evening, you're probably gonna have a hard time to go back to sleep. That makes sense. So be careful with that. So, but at the same time, some people, I know there's a lot of people love doing it in the evening. They feel more energetic in the evening. Not me. I do it in the morning. I feel more energetic, and the evening I'm about to pass out, to be honest with you. So just be aware that exactly if you need to wake up early in the morning, if you work out late in the night, you're gonna feel so energized that you're probably gonna go to bed too late, and then you're gonna feel tired next morning maybe. So plan your day, plan your activity according to what your work schedule is, or have your meals too, right? Because you don't want to start working out after a heavy dinner either. So that's another point. So each person is going to be very different. Just think of those things when you're more energized. You want to be after working out, you take your shower and then you eat, a sensible dinner. You feel better and you're gonna sleep better. That's for sure. I hope this work um, helped, Paul. I don't know.
Oh, no, thank you for answering the question.
I have another question. Some say you shouldn't eat after 7 p.m. Is that true?
Well, it depends on the culture, right? I know Americans love to eat after 7 p.m., to be honest with you. But when I do that, I gain a lot more weight, because then you just basically just sitting around and then go to bed. In my culture, I'm from Mexico, by the way, we think the opposite. We have a saying that is eat breakfast as a king, then eat your lunch as prince, and then dinner as a, I don't know, burger and homeless person, so super slow, super small. So it depends again of the person, but be aware that yes, if you eat a super heavy dinner, you're pretty much not doing much after that. So you're gonna sit around and then go to bed. You may even, I don't know, I feel a little sick if you do that, but some people like that. So again, it's nothing that is set in stone that you should do it. It's different people have different lifestyles. If you do work out just and then you eat late dinner, just try to stay awake for a few hours after dinner to help your digestive right system to digest that food and not just going to bed afterwards.
Thank you.
Sure.
Talking about eating, keto. This is a big thing that people have been talking about, keto, which is, I believe, no carbs and no sugar. Any comments on that type of lifestyle, if that's even something, a choice?
Well, MD Anderson really doesn't particularly recommend a specific type of diet. All what we recommend is that you watch your calories, that you watch your portion size, at which we can come back and have that presentation specific in portion size and how many calories you should watch. Of course, carbs are known that they're gonna have a lot more calories, right? So you should watch out for the amount of carbs that you eat, but they're healthy carbs too, right? So it depends what carbs are you eating too. So we like healthy um, diet, lots of veggies. With we recommend to fill our plate on each meal more than half of your plate, 3/4 of your plate in with veggies, and then one little portion of like a grains, whole grains, like it can be beans, white rice, lentils, and a very small portion of meat, preferably white meat, chicken, fish. That's the recommendation.
Mm. Okay, thank you. No, thank you. That's good answer for that perspective. Victoria, I think you want to just ask any more last questions, and then you
Any
can go.
tips of ways to stay active while you sit in your desk? Actually, the one of the links that I believe Victoria put in the chat is an exercise to do while you're sitting. So try that one. It seems like a very easy, but it works the core, and it's so you can do it in your office. You're gonna like it. I think. Try that one. But yes, you can do a stretches too while you're sitting. But one thing that we recommend, we prefer that every hour to get up, stand up from you. I know we get super busy, and when sometimes I'm guilty when I realize like it's been 4 hours and I haven't even stopped for eating or anything. So put a reminder in your phone or an Outlook, and every hour get up, stand up for 1 to 2 minutes, and walk around, and then come back again. We try to avoid sitting down for too many hours. Okay.
Okay, no, I think that was good. Thank you, Rainier, for asking that question. Very good questions.
Yes,
Um,
great questions.
yeah, Victoria, go ahead. You want to do some, I guess, closing comments, and I think we still have some room for questions, but I'll let you
We're pretty much
wrap
done.
it up in that perspective.
Yes, I mean, if that's those were all great questions. I I love the way that you all are thinking and thinking about different ways and thinking about the different amounts of times to exercise and getting that in. So I think it was a great deal of information for you guys, and I hope you got a lot out of it, and it seems so. So thank you for.
Yes, thank you all for having us, Paul. Thank you for inviting us. It has been a pleasure being here. Now you know our link. If I hope you can request more of our presentations. We'll be happy to come back anytime. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you, and have a great evening. Thank
Yeah.
you, Victoria.
So I want to just kind of wrap this up. We want to just recognize MD Anderson and what they're doing and providing just this whole opportunity for us to be able to learn about having a healthy lifestyle. It's even more so how to be able to do this so that you can maximize your productivity and really just be able to continue taking on the challenges of your business and life. We also want to recommend you make sure that you follow up and take that survey. It's quite important. It's quite important to MD Anderson, and even for us being able to know that how we can make these webinars useful and even more so beneficial for you as you continue your life and your journey with your business, and even more so building up your family, your health and family. The other thing I want to just let you know, I know we had announced about a special item, and so MD Anderson has provided a small token of appreciation of attending. We'll be sending this out afterwards. If we don't have your address on file, we encourage you to please email that to us so that we can get that back to you, or make arrangements to stop by and visit us. Visit the chamber. We would be happy to come by and just have a quick dialogue with you as you come on and do that, and just show your appreciation as a member, or if thinking about becoming a member, to show your support and be able to take advantage of the things that we're doing for the community and the resources that we're providing. If you're not connected with us, please sign up for the newsletter on our website, as well as social media, and being able to understand the different things that we're doing. Again, we thank you for spending this opportunity this afternoon with us. I know you could have chosen other things to do, but we're grateful that you came to learn about just about your health and the importance of that. And we do hope to have more programs like this that will be able to just help support your organizations and your employees, and being able to just maximize your productivity. The chamber is available and always available to help answer questions about your programs, about businesses, and assisting you in your business. We thank you for, again, spending this afternoon. Again, thank you for Patricia and Victoria for your just hard work in putting this together, and just encouraging us to really just maximize our time that we have here together. This concludes our webinar. We hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the afternoon and the rest of the week. And please join us for our business conference that we're coming up, and dine in at those Asian restaurants that's listed on the website. Like Patricia said, maybe just take that portion and put it on the side to a go box so you have 2 meals, not just one. And that even though, and just really be able to just not only enjoy the meal there, but at home or wherever your place that you would like to eat. Till we meet again, enjoy and have a wonderful, wonderful summer, rest of the summer. And we hope to see you in person soon.